Childhood by Marcus Natten. About the poet. Marcus Natten is an Australian writer with Austrian and German roots. He is best known for The Book Thief and The Messenger, two novels which became international bestsellers. He attended Engadine High School and briefly returned there to teach English while writing. He studied English and History at the University of New South Wales, from which he graduated with a Bachelor of Arts and a Diploma of Education. In this poem, the poet Marcus Natten thinks deeply over the question of his lost childhood and tries to identify some stages of his life when his thoughts and perceptions of the world changed. So now let us quickly go to the poem. Stanza 1. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Or was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? In stanza 1, the poet thinks deeply over the question of his lost childhood. He wonders when his childhood came to an end. He reflects that perhaps it was the day when he crossed the age of 11. Maybe it was the stage when he realized that the concept of hell and heaven, about which he had been taught since his childhood, were imaginary places. They did not exist in reality because his geography textbooks did not provide the location of such places. The poet realizes that he might have lost his childhood when he gained his rational outlook due to his education. In this stanza, the poet rationalizes his lost childhood when he was 11 and when he found out hell and heaven does not exist in geography. The poet emphasizes on the importance of age 11. At this age, he was able to differentiate between facts and fiction. Stanza 2. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? The poet reflects that the loss of childhood might have occurred when he was able to see through the hypocrisy of adults. These people follow double standards, actually following and preaching different standards of behavior. They sermonized to the poet about being loving and caring. However, they themselves were argumentative, violent, and discourteous. Their behavior was far away from the love they advocated. So, reverently to the child, perhaps, recognizing the double-faced reality of the adults, which broke the poet's trust. That was a major setback towards the disappearing step. That was a major step towards the disappearing of his childhood. Here, in stanza 2, the poet realizes the fact that adults have a hypocritic attitude. Stanza 3. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine, to use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of others, but my own and mine alone? Was that the day? In stanza 3, the poet deliberates on the same question about when he actually lost his childhood and asks himself about various possibilities. He tries to guess that perhaps it was the day when he realized that his mind could think independently, enabling him to produce his own thoughts, form his own opinions, and take his own decisions. He gained a sense of individuality, which sets him free from preconceived opinions of others. His own individual opinions and experiences shaped his thoughts and personality. He realized that this might have been the time when he lost his childhood innocence completely. Now, here in stanza 3, the poet emphasizes on shaping personality, and the poet says, his mind is unique. In this poem, the poet uses refrain in this poem. The repetition of the lines, usually at the end or the beginning of the poem, is called a refrain. Refrain carries the central message of the poem. Here, the lines, when did my childhood go? And was that the day? Are examples of refrain. The first refrain is the central theme of the poem as to when have the poet lost his childhood, while the second refrain ends with an exclamation which brings out the poet's realization. Now let us go to the final stanza. In the stanza 4, the poet changes his question and now wonders where his childhood has gone. He concludes that it has gone to an unremembered place and will never come back to him. He cherished his innocence, which has vanished now and can only be seen in the innocent face of an infant who does not have any pretensions and rationality and who trusts others unconditionally. In other words, a small child is full of innocence, and one can find one's own childhood by looking at its face. Now, according to the poet, where do we see the childhood? He says, childhood is seen in an infant's face. Thank you. For detailed notes and question and answers, log on to EDUGURU-Notes blogspot.com.